And whatever business you do, if the sole purpose is just making money, you won't last.
Yeah.
Because the first setback you have, you will give up.
What does it take to run a food business in this increasingly competitive and ever-increasing retail rentals? On one end, during the height of COVID, food businesses shut down like dominoes. And 2 years later, we celebrate the return of cafes and restaurants, but not all seems to make it back in one piece. So this question is something I've thought about on how does food businesses remains open and what sort of business philosophy do they adopt than just serving food and drinks day in and day out. This video will be slightly different than my usual faceless recipes that I filmed for the past 2 years on and off. It's more like a vlog and casual interview as I sat down in Penang, Malaysia recently with two lovely owners of Tease and Toss who has turned one of the historical shophouse in Penang into a cafe. And you'll find out that they have an aim bigger than just serving good food. Meet Prasena and Dr Kritharan. One is an accountant and the other is a medical doctor in Penang who both runs Tease and Toss. Stay till the end to find out what does it take to run an F&B business in Penang.
Earlier, before we start this place, I didn't know anything about F&B. Like I will be doing simple baking, simple cooking at home. Like in the morning, I will do the morning smoothie. Then doctor liked it. Then I said, why not? I said, okay, we can try. So he sent me to coffee course, barista course. We both went together. And then we learned how to make simple basic coffee, like just one heart. Then I learned here soy sauce and powder, soap powder. I'll try all this. I develop on my own.
So this was like when you were in your teenage years, or lately after that you started to pick up your passion for trying things in the kitchen?
I love cooking since very young.
From the very young. Wow. Okay.
I'll be helping my grandmother in the kitchen. I'll see what she's doing. She likes to cook all this like raw papaya. She can cook raw papaya, stir fry raw papaya. I learned cooking from her.
So that she was your mentor / inspiration. Yeah?
Yes, she's my inspiration. And I develop my own skills. I will always watch cooking shows, Astro channel. After my school, I'll come back. The 1 hour before sleep, before what I can watch before my siblings come back, I'll watch. I used to watch the AFC channel, Asian food channel. Yeah, many things I learned from them.
Got the skill. I really admire you. Like, what do you have? 99 dishes, right, in total?
Yes, 99 dishes.
And how does the menu creation come about? Like, do you plan majority or like with Dr. Sel?
How the whole idea of this menu, right? Most of the menu here is from Doctor. How he came up with all this, he studied in Russia. So he traveled all around Eastern Europe. Ukrainian cutlery, and then Russian borscht, all this Russian classic.
This is Dr. Kritharan. He shared with us how his experiences in Russia as a medical student influences the menu creation at Tease and Toss, his ongoing advocacy for stray-free and beggar-free Penang, as well as tips on how one can be successful in running an F&B business.
How do you say? Like I said, from scratch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's the times over there. There was not much access to cafes and restaurants and all that. So you have to do things yourself. You start to use your hands, you start to observe what they have. And the spices and everything that they use is very different. So I tried to incorporate them into our food scenario. And that is quite helpful.
Yeah.
They look at Western food, is very different. They are not a fan of McDonald's, they're not a fan of fast food and all that. For them, McDonald's is like, they are very anti-Americans, they are very pro-Russians.
Yeah.
So for them, McDonald's food, how they describe it is dog's food. That's how they see McDonald's.
They still go there.
It's not very popular over there. Maybe now it is, but 20 years ago it wasn't. They are not very enthusiastic about fast food. So and anything that's pro-American. So the way they see McDonald's and other franchise is very different from how we see. So yeah. Ada McDonald's, tapi it's popular among the very young age, but not the middle age at that time. It was not very popular among the middle age at that time. So lain lah. Food scenario dia sangat berbeza. It's very different from France or Italy or where all the lavish pastries come from, right? France and Italy and all other Western Europe. It's very different. Their food scenario is very different. So yeah, so I see a lot from there.
The interesting part is kenapa Russia?
At that time, it was that was one of the feasible choices lah. At that time, there were not many local universities in Malaysia. Not as many as now. Now there are so many, so much. At that time, either you go to the very limited local private colleges, or you study in a government university, or you go overseas. So at that point, that was my choice at that time. It was the most feasible at that time. At that time.
So jarang kan, even though let's say orang Singaporeans,
Uh-huh.
jarang orang macam think of Russia as a place to study.
It was recognized by our government at that time. 6 universities in Russia are recognized by our government at that time, and they were very popular for medicine. Russian medicine is very popular, so and they're good. So their volume is much more. The medical volume, what you study over the years, over the span of 6 years, is much more. It's much more than what I see in comparison to our local. It's much more. If you know very well how to make use of it, then you can learn a lot. Yeah, and you learn a lot about cultures, how people live, and it's very different from here. It's very, very, very different from here.
And you had to learn like a new set of language.
No,
From the
Russian
very-
language is not easy. It's not easy. Their grammar is very difficult to understand. If you don't master the grammar, people won't get you. It loses the point of your sentence. It doesn't convey the message. So it's very different. So
Is there a lot of banyak like Malaysians kat sana tu?
university ada 400 Malaysians. Yeah. So we celebrate. Actually, kat sini I never celebrated Raya. Sana I did because there's only 400 of us, 400 of us. We will celebrate Raya. We will celebrate Chinese New Year. We will celebrate Diwali. Memang itulah. Over here, even here, we don't. Raya is not a big thing for me. Over there, it is because it's a must do. If we don't do it, that's the only celebration for the year for us. Those kind of big events. So we have to organize event, functions, cooking. So the usual things students do. Maybe they're very familiar with French food, Italian food. It's very familiar. A lot of food which is not so familiar is the Eastern European food. Polish, Hungarian. So I try to bring a lot of
How do you
Ukrainian
pronounce this?
Ukrainian katleti.
Katleti.
Katleti. So I try to bring all those events, all those Eastern European food scenarios, which is less popular in this part of the world. But if you do it right, the spices are different. The way they present their food is different. Because we are all very familiar with all the French food, Italian food, and all that. Very, very familiar, which is also nice. But Eastern European is healthy in a different way. So I like to bring that food scenario into here, and it's nice to see people. I mean, I don't think you can find borscht anywhere else in Penang. Kat KL mungkin ada. There's some place called Kazan or something, a Russian restaurant. It's not Russian, it's Kazakh restaurant. So they have borscht. In Penang we don't have. There is no place serving borscht. Only we do. Yeah, it's a soupy texture. It's beetroot and meat. So we serve that. People come here, they're like, oh, okay, there is new, which triggers your new taste buds, new things to give customers. So that's how this menu started, this restaurant started. And many people ask me, what's the point? What's the point of Tease and Toss? Why you open this and all that? I mean, I like food. Yeah, I like food. It's very the wonderful opportunity and platform given to us to give good food and to people and to make a name for ourselves and all that. But actually, that's not the primary reason. One of the primary reasons is I always have this vision, right? For as someone who's from Penang, to create a beggar-free and stray-free society. Yeah, I want a city which doesn't have strays, which doesn't have beggars, like how we see in Europe and places like that. And very little attention and very little funding is given by government for these strays, and not much is being done for that. I mean, humans can help each other, right? Humans can help each other, but for animals we don't. So many times you will see hit and run, accidents, for cats and dogs and all that. So what do we do for this thing? They need a home, they need a shelter, and for you to have a home and shelter, you need enough funding. There are a lot of volunteers, but you need funding to set up this. So a lot of Tease and Toss profits and all that goes to shelter. We cherry pick shelters every week and we give them what we can, little things that we can do. It's a very sad scenario. Sometimes you have a hit and run, a cat or a dog, you don't know who to call, what to do. It's a very blunt, very vague scenario. You don't know what to do next. I mean, if a human is hurt, you call the J-Pump, you call Bomba, you call police, you call the ambulance, you know where he's supposed to go to. What about an animal? What happens to them? They end there, right? So I wish there was more attention paid towards animals. That is the primary reason. When you speak from a platform, it reaches further. It reaches to more people from a platform rather than being an individual. Yeah, that's how I go in that direction. Because when you have a platform, people get to know you. People know who you are, and your voice will be louder. Of course, this is our primary goal for setting up. Banyak kat sini strays. A lot of our cats, we recognize them because we stay here, right? We recognize them. They recognize us too. One is food. You need shelter. You need care. They need medical care. They deserve equal place as humans. So I think a lot of love should be given to them. We are here to protect them, not the other way around. So because humans can protect themselves well, animals can't. So we need to do something in that aspect.
Yeah, I realize you guys have a lot of unique hidden stories behind the brand of Tease and Toss.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we do. And whatever business you do, if the sole purpose is just making money, you won't last.
Yeah.
Because the first setback you have, you will give up. Because your why is not strong enough. Your why, am I doing this, must be very strong. It will carry you through the bad days. You have bad days, very bad days, and you have good days. For you to survive and get through bad days, your why must be very strong. Why am I doing this? The sole purpose is money and finance. Money is very important to do a lot of things. If that's the only purpose, you'll fail very quickly. Yeah, that's what I think.
And what would your advice be to young entrepreneurs who want to start out a F&B business anywhere in the world?
F&B business anywhere in the world. First, you need to love food. You need to love people because they are the customers. You need to have love towards people. Number two, you need to have a lot of ideas. And for F&B, it's not food alone is not enough. You need to have the right scenario, the right people, the right geographical location, the right ideas. A lot of things are involved. So you need to get your research right, and you must be willing to put in the hours. You must be the hardest worker in the room. You must be more hardworking than your employees. You don't automatically relieved of all responsibilities when you become a boss. Actually, you will be working harder than everybody else. You'll be up before everyone else, and you go to bed after everyone else, which is true in our situation. Yeah, we wake up before everyone else, and you finish after everyone else. If you're willing to put in that hours, you need to make a lot of sacrifices, physically, mentally, emotionally.
It goes back to the cliche idea of leading by example.
Yes. Because people will follow exactly what you do, how you portray yourself, how you carry yourself. Your staff are going to follow you. They're going to follow that, exactly that. So you'll be setting an example of how you.
Is it the same with your practice?
Definitely. You have to put in the You have to put in the hours, you have to put in the hard work. And like how a doctor behaves, right? That's how the junior doctors will behave as well. If you give them something to respect, they'll carry themselves that way as well.
Share with us a little bit about your background. Daytime, you're a doctor, medical doctor, right? And then
Okay, a bit of my background. My father is a FAM referee. He's a national football referee. Yeah. My mom is a homemaker. So, and he played also a very important role in doing this, running this place and everything. Because the discipline he instilled in all of us, punctuality, and how everything has to be in order. A restaurant is very important for everything to be in order. Otherwise, you won't deliver. Everything has to be in order, has to be on time, timing, punctuality. It has to be organized because you have a lot of things going on in the menu. It's very overwhelming. You have a few hundred items there. If your mind isn't organized, it's very difficult to deliver. As long as your mind is organized, things will be fine. Then the business can run very well. And I come from the oldest English schools in Southeast Asia, Penang Free School. Tunku Abdurrahman is from that school. Hiramli is from that school. A lot of great people are from that school.
we like the whole idea from you and Prasena, how you see other human beings, how you see even strays, and
Yeah.
these are all like macam small
Building blocks.
building block to run a business that is like this. So these are like qualities that we both admire.
Anybody can open a business. Qualities that you carry.
Duit tu boleh buka.
Anybody can run a business. Anybody can run a business. But the qualities, because when you run a business, more people get to know you. You'll be guiding others what to do. You see, you'll be passing down those qualities to others. Anybody can open a business, but how are you running it? How are you doing it? And what goodness can you bring to the society? I mean, if you're doing something, right? It can be any job.
Yeah.
You can be a postman, you can be a satellite owner, whatever. It must bring good to society. If it only serves you and yourself, then it beats the whole purpose. Whatever you do must serve purpose to society. It can be to the nature, to the people, to the environment, or whatever. It must serve some purpose.
Backpackers, they really can afford full meal for maybe for 20 ringgit, 30 ringgit, they can't afford. So all they need is a cup of tea for 8 ringgit and pastries. So they can cover within 10 ringgit.
10 ringgit.
Yeah, the concept is to let everyone to taste the food. Right, so something that we can provide, especially backpackers and school students. There's a school over there. Before going to school, some will came from there.
The whole concept of this menu and this restaurant is to give healthy food.
Healthy food.
Healthy food. No pre-made food, no pre-done food, and also no preservative, no MSG. Everything will be done then and there. Even shepherd's pie.
Now everywhere people are giving microwave food, even pasta. Everything is microwave. Like pasta, 10 minutes. What's the whole point of running a restaurant? It's all about introducing healthy food, new food. Something should come from yourself because this is your place. It's not that you find a supplier and then you take all the sauces from them. Even pasta also they sell pre-made pasta. So you just boil it, you just microwave it, you mix it, and you can give to them. No.
So I think it all boils down to like the main objective or the what you share with the customers.
Yes.
Like it's about introducing that hey, you can actually have a good meal.
Yes.
Without using a microwave and without using a lot of preservative to amplify the taste.
Correct. So Monte Cristo is one of the best selling here and guest favorite. And followed by this Alfredo fettuccine with crispy chicken. Like we have other pastas as well, like seafood aglio olio, but they like this Alfredo fettuccine. Like recently we had a crowd about 15.
Ordering the same thing.
10 ordered the same thing. That's like, we have other pastas as well. Maybe you can try our seafood aglio olio or shrimp penne pesto. I say, no, we like your Alfredo. Yeah. will the menu continue to evolve after like let's say a few years, a few months, or like this is a fixed menu for now until you get a lot of customers to know Tease and Toss? So knowing doctor, I think he will introduce more, because when we opened this place we just had sandwiches, burritos, we didn't even have pastas and mains. We develop over the time, and these local delights we introduced few months ago, 2 months ago. That's why we have nasi lemak Nusantara, the coconut curry.
Thanks for watching till the end. We hope you have enjoyed the video. If you're ever in Penang, drop by this place at Chulia Street, Georgetown, and try their healthy and delicious menu. I hope to bring you more contents like this, so do like, share and subscribe to grow this channel. Till then, see you in the next video.